I come in very much with sounds curiosity. It's an openness. I find it's the greatest honour to be able to know about people's lives and know about what's important to them. Some people come in just, here's my problem, sort it out. Some people are like, I need another week off work, I can't do this. So it's a bit of both. Sometimes it's exploring what's wrong with them, and sometimes it's a really specific need. And I think being open and curious and interested in what makes people tick and what's happening in people's lives, having the time to do that and really listening, so trying to pick up on clues, the body language, on the pauses in conversation as well. So sometimes it's in those silences which you learn more. What was it? Who's a nice man? I think it was, sometimes his phrase like, well, look at your back, but tell me about the rest of your life. What does the day look like for you? It's a kind of a quiet moment for us both. It's like this pause, and actually it's really difficult at the moment. Switching a light on is too easy an analogy, but it's, when it's a really cloudy day and you suddenly see a little shaft of sunlight come through, and it's like, okay, now we found our moment, we found the key. That's the important thing. That's our little bit of sunlight, and that's the bit that's really of interest. He had lost his wife. He'd moved to a new area. He'd recently retired. He knew no one, and he was really lonely. That was the overwhelming aspect for him, and the back pain was just one aspect of that. He came along with his back thinking, I'm seeing a physiotherapist, they'll sort out my back. But actually, by being able to move forwards and talk about the other aspects of his life and the other things that had cropped up in his life, and coming up with ideas for that, rather than just saying, oh yes, that's sad for you, actually be able to say about, let's talk about how we could come up with suggestions, other things that he'd be open to. And actually he was really open to trying to make a difference. We did walking football, because he told me he used to enjoy playing football. So you can go to the local school and in the evening play football for minimal cost, £1.50. And it's great because it's getting you moving, but it's great because it's camaraderie again, and it's blokes being together, which is really important. And then the other one was Men in Sheds, which is a national organisation which you go along to a bus or into a room and you do carpentry and woodwork together. So again, it's people helping each other out, because I think you get a huge amount from actually helping others. So actually having people working together and doing something with your hands, purposeful. And again, just meeting other people. It's really important. As humans, we all connect, isn't it? So it's finding easy ways to connect. And for him, his shoulders were higher, if you like, as he left the room, which is really nice. You kind of think that's a different man walking out. I think it was a huge relief to him to actually talk about other things. You become one little part of that life. And it's sweet because I'll meet people in the street, or I'll meet them again in clinic years later, and they'll say, you said that. I think, golly, that's amazing, isn't it? I think I talk drivel most of the time, but people will say, no, I remember you said that, or you were the first person who really listened to me. And that's huge. That makes my job absolutely the best job in the world. So no, I think a curiosity, being genuinely interested in people's lives, and being kind to people, realising that we've all got our own battles and everybody's got terrific life stories and histories behind them, and we're just one very small part of that pathway. So now I think just an openness to hear people's stories and an interest in their stories. I'll sit in a traffic jam and look at everybody in cars around me and think I don't know anybody here, and they've all got their own lives and their own stresses and their own joys and stories. And I find that quite overwhelming sometimes, and everybody around you are strangers, and yet all of them are just immensely precious.